So when someone is attempting weight loss, we think about the excitement, we think about, okay, let's get to those first few pounds, but we also have a fear of what happens with regain. And when we have someone who's kind of a chronic dieter or a yo-yo dieter, we see a lot of these ups and downs and ups and downs. So it's important for me to counsel my patients on what can help with sustainable long-term weight loss. And when we talk about that topic, we talk a lot about weight loss maintainers, the people that we have studied in the medical industry who have lost a significant amount of weight and been successful keeping it off. What do those people do, and how does that differ from the people who are yo-yoing? A key to know about dieting is that any diet will work. That's good, that's bad, but what we care about is those that will work for you in the long term. So know that regardless of what you're selecting in the initial phase of weight loss, it'll probably be just fine. There will probably be some kind of calorie deficit. If you adhere to it, your calorie intake will go lower than baseline. You will lose weight, period. But what happens the day, the week, the month that you elect to go off that diet? You regain, and sometimes you'll actually end up a few pounds higher than your baseline weight. We're back at square one, we're disappointed, we're frustrated, and we start all over again. So people who are long-term weight maintainers, as we call them, tend to have a few things in common. Those commonalities actually don't have to do with the type or the style of diet that they're on. It has nothing to do with whether they're high in carb or low in carb or high in protein or low in it. It's their adherence to that program. So when someone is coming to me and asking about my favorite diet or my least favorite diet, what do you think about X, Y, or Z? I'll turn it back to the patient and say, how sustainable does that sound for you in the long term? Any of these diets will have you in that caloric deficit, but how sustainable is it for you? So we know that people who are maintainers have found something that they have a very high percent adherence to. They can stay on whatever word you want to use, that program, that diet, that plan for a long time. So when you're considering a weight loss program, you actually need to think past 30 days, past 60 days, and actually think lifelong. Does this diet sound like something that I can do in the long term and maintain? Another key of weight loss maintainers is their level of exercise. Not everyone's a marathon runner, not everyone's a runner, and that's okay. But weight loss maintainers tend to have higher levels of activity or higher minutes of activity than even the national guidelines promote. Our national guidelines in the world of cardio ask for 30 minutes 5 days a week or 150 minutes per week. Weight loss maintainers are actually doing more often 45 to 60 minutes of intentional exercise per day. It doesn't have to be high intensity. Most of them are actually walking, but this is walking that's elevating their heart rate and is dedicated during a certain time of their day for exercise. Another piece close to exercise, but in the less intentional, is NEAT. So non-exercise activity thermogenesis. This is movement throughout your day. This is standing when you could be sitting. This is walking when you could be standing. Weight loss maintainers tend to have very little screen time and little sedentary time. And lastly, something that weight loss maintainers tend to be doing is self-monitoring. They are somehow keeping track of what they're eating, maybe what they weigh, and also how many minutes they're exercising per day. They're keeping track for themselves, to keep themselves accountable, to keep themselves aware. All of these aspects of successful weight loss are actually incorporated right into the Mayo Clinic Diet. So there are multiple ways that you can self-monitor. There's an app, there's the website, there's also a journal where you can track your exercise minutes, your weight, your body measurements, and of course your food intake, as well as your water intake. The habits that we're asking you to adhere to in our habit tracker are either 30 or 60 minutes. And it's also a lifestyle program. Dr. Hensrud and the team, we prefer not to overly use the word diet because the Mayo Clinic Diet is helping people learn how to eat well and how to eat normal. Outside of that 2-week lose it phase, which is kind of our jump start into weight loss, we're building a foundation of good nutrition. We're asking you to build your diet with the best things for your body: fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, whole grains. And we can show you in the program via the meal plan or in the habit tracker or in the food tracker how to make those changes, how to make those eating styles part of your life.